Right, ladies and gents, the moment you have been waiting for, hopefully, because DPC is kicking off here with Division 2, and the final series before we head over to the winter break, the Christmas break. Balrogs versus Omega. Pretty interesting pair up here, as they're both sitting at a 2-1 standing, tied third place, potential still fighting for top 2, and maybe lock in a potential contender spot for the top 2 and go to the upper division here with T-Panda and Wingblade. Good to see you, man. We were hosting, paneling some Division 1 Dota last night. Now we're going to Division 2. What are your expectations for today?
I'm expecting one of the best matchups that we've seen all DPC season, honestly. These teams look to be super evenly matched, and although their flexibility is a point where they're gonna be a little bit different, I feel like their skill is very evenly matched.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
I feel like we are at the same thoughts here, because both of these two teams, in the light of statistical numbers, they're pretty even in almost everything. Kills, deaths, assists, goals, activity. The only thing dividing these two is their hero pool. So hero diversity, we're looking at Omega having one of the biggest hero pools in the tournament, right after Unknown and Inverse. And Balrogs, who have 19 heroes picked, which is the lowest by far compared to any other team. So, is today the time to show some new hero picks? Maybe an ace up the sleeve? Who knows? Let's look at the draft.
I mean, so far, yes. Because it looks like we have an OD, which is not a hero they've picked too much of. I think they've picked it once. Nyx ban as well in the first phase, which makes a lot of sense, as Nyx is picking up a lot of popularity against OD, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I feel like Nyx has been around more often now because of the OD also being picked more and more frequently. I'm not sure if that's a good thing that OD is back in the meta. But a lot of teams seem to favor it and find it a strong hero. The hero that wasn't played, that hasn't been touched at all, the meta hasn't really changed that much, and then suddenly this hero pops up out of nowhere.
Yep. It's beautiful how it works.
Dota trends.
To be fair, Nyx is also good against Snapfire, which is another very popular hero right now.
Yeah, would make a good combo too with the Mars. Very formidable duo. But Omega do love their Hoodwink. If I saw correct, they have they've played 4 matches. Sorry, they've played 3 matches of Hoodwink so far. 2 of them already picked in the first phase, so they're gonna keep that trend going.
Also, they played some Support Void, which is insane.
5 seconds.
Oh yeah, +5 Void even.
I haven't had the chance to actually watch the game, but I hope it was the Slasher's Way build. Just chrono your teammates and salve them. Most effective healing in the game.
Would it possibly have been any better than the offlane Void we saw yesterday?
I mean, possibly. That's a pretty low bar to set.
Yeah, I guess the Void was a bit underwhelming, I guess. Was hoping to see a bit more out of it. Though we're going to get the Dark Willow at least. I feel like this is a great combo with the OD, especially once you have the Shard. So you have both the stun, you also have the Prison to follow up, and then you still have to get rid of the Bramble Maze and the Cursed Crown Shard, which is also going to put 4 Brambles around you. So there's a lot of Toho 9000 that you need to kind of get through. So many obstacles to pass.
Yeah, just these 2 heroes have so much control together already. I mean, the same is true for Omega. They have a lot of stuns and annoying stuff as well, just in their first phase. We already have a lot of disables and a lot of magic burst as well for both of these teams. So we spoke about how they're very similar in terms of skill and different in terms of flexibility, but they're also very similar in terms of draft openings. Sniper ban now? Another hero that just started appearing all of a sudden, even though he got mostly ignored at TI.
True. I feel like sniper on the very top level of Dota is very
Only 10
very
seconds.
rarely or seldom picked hero because it feels like it's so easy to figure out
5
what's your
seconds.
gameplay
Hurry,
style gonna
hurry.
be. Just picking heroes that are great with initiating, running at them. If you have a last pick sniper and you don't have a lineup that's gonna run at you, it feels like a free game at that point.
Mm-hmm. In that respect, Drow, Ranger, and Sniper are practically the same hero.
True,
Dyer's
true.
ban.
PL ban as well. I wonder what carry they want for Balrogs. Because these seem like some very specific bans. Do they want to have like a TB? Because you don't want to play TB against Sniper
10
or
seconds
PL.
to pick.
But TB is pretty decent against Beastmaster, so I'm really curious what
5
they want
seconds
here.
remain.
It is likely that they're gonna pick up their carry in the next phase,
Yeah,
because they don't
good.
have last pick.
I'm kind of curious about this LC ban because I know you have the Mars, so you're not picking an offlaner anymore. But LC at the same time is good and bad against the OD. If this OD ends up being a core, LC is like the best way to counter it. Blink Duel. OD does nothing during that time, so you can easily strip away a hero from team fights. But since you already got the Mars and you don't necessarily look to take Mars into the mid lane, might as well just ban it.
I don't think you really want to pick LC against OD. I feel like OD is very good against LC.
He is.
You can just sit very, very far back and make sure that you never get dueled, wait for the duel, and then
Radiant team
invalidate
now
the
picking.
entire existence of Legion Commander in a single spell. But instead, they pick up Silencer. Interesting.
Silencer seems to be picked quite a lot in SA. Been given a lot of love. I feel like I've never really liked Silencer support,
10
just for the
seconds to
reason
pick.
that his ulti feels a bit. It could be better.
5
His
seconds.
ulti could be a
Hurry,
bit better,
hurry.
especially when you're talking about like axe buffs and stuff. You're not gonna get Aghanim's as a support most of the time, especially if it's like a 5 silencer. But he felt so squishy for such a long time. Such like slow movement speed, mediocre damage, doesn't have a stun, no way to escape. You have slows and you're a good harasser. I'll give you that. Like you're a good harasser on the silencer for the
Radiant
lane.
team pick.
But
Yeah, the laning stage is quite nice, and it helps a lot as well if you're playing aggressive, so you can just dive and then press global instead of having to press it defensively, which really, really sucks. But I'm not sure if Balrogs is gonna give them the space, because it looks like they want to run at Omega instead of the other way around.
Only 10
With this
seconds.
Razor IO pick, I anticipate a lot of aggression from them.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Razor IO for Balrogs.
Radiant's ban.
Interesting. Kind of like the idea of bringing up the IO, but is this the pair? And also what I'm kind of looking at is this is their first IO pick. And by the looks of it, this is also their first Razor pick. So Balrogs has not picked either of these heroes so far in the course of this
Only
tournament.
10 seconds.
Interesting.
Something
5
new.
seconds remain.
Let's see what they can do with this. Innovating here as we speak.
Building the
Embrace
meta,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Late into the meta. Build another meta on top of it. Is that a metaverse?
It's constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving. That's the way we put it. That's a smart answer. We got the Bloodseeker pickup, though. This is going to make OD's life a bit harder. We're going to be looking at Force Staffs potentially built up on... Well, OD could build a Force Staff, too. Willow could build one, too. But we need to get out of the silence. And IO really doesn't like the Rupture. IO's going to be heavily targeted this game by Omega. And I feel like Seeker really helps with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Seeker is also one of
10
the cores
seconds
who
to
doesn't
pick.
really care that much about static link. Because one way to deal
5
with it is
seconds.
blinking,
Hurry,
the other one is
hurry.
just having 900 movement speed. Speaking
Yeah.
about high movement speed, Spirit Breaker has been completely ignored so
Radiant's
far.
ban.
Last pick Spirit Breaker. Pog. That would be a pretty Pog move. He had the confidence to go for last pick Spirit Breaker. How often have you seen that happen, actually? I feel like less than 5, maybe, you actually get to see a Spirit Breaker being a last pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it tends to not make it through the first few phases of the draft. But sometimes teams just kind of forget about picks. And they're
10
so
seconds to
strong that
pick.
you kind of expect them to be bad. And then suddenly in the last phase, you
5
notice, hey,
seconds remain.
Bane is still in the
Demon are
pool
picking.
or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have some offlane bans from Omega. More offlane bans. They've banned 4 offlaners in total. They could still put the Razor there too if they feel like. We could just go for a carry pick here. But would it make sense?
Only 10
Io could use a
seconds.
pair still. There's no Gyrocopter though, but I think there's a couple of
5
formidable
seconds remain.
duos if he doesn't want to go with the Razor.
Yeah, Luna is still there, for instance.
Luna's there, yeah.
But I think just having another stun on an offlaner would be really nice.
I'd like
So
them.
I
Never mind. Never mind.
I would
actually,
love
this
to
is
see
bad.
Spirit Breakaway. I just think it's very good here. Like, what is
Well-
the Silencer or Bloodseeker gonna do?
Yeah.
Hoodwink and Mice are decent, but even they are not that great because their stuns are kind of slow. Can be hard to respawn in time.
I feel like Bloodseeker and Silencer would make a great hitman duo. The other one silences, the other one makes you bleed.
But it does make kind of a mess.
Yeah, it does a bit of a mess. It could be, but still, I feel like they could still be great, like assassins or something. I mean,
Just a
Silencer
nice
literally is holding onto a
between
ninja star. He's got a ninja star.
I was about to speak about Kunkka and how I was surprised I haven't seen him more in SA. And then they pick it slightly before I want to start the subject. Damn you, Balrogs.
Well, I mean, Kunkka does seem to look like a pretty decent hero here. No matter what
10
matchup
seconds
Kunkka
to
usually
pick.
goes up against, he still comes out strong. You have a good tempo here
5
with the
seconds.
Razor.
Hurry,
This could be a
hurry.
carry Kunkka. You could just be putting the OD into mid. They could also be an offlane Kunkka. You could still put it anywhere. And I think Omega is also trying to figure out, like, do they want to go Io Razor here? What do you think about Io Kunkka? It doesn't quite synergize because Tidebringer is still on a cooldown.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would just go Io Razor.
Yeah. Take the
I
easy route.
Yeah, I like their cores because all 3 of their cores can go into any like core position, 1, 2, or 3. They have so much flexibility right now. In Omega, they have last pick, but Balrog should be able to adapt. I think Quop is decent for them. But overall, they're really going to struggle with dealing with this Kunkka because Kunkka doesn't care about any of the Omega heroes right now.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have a BKB hero against him.
Choose your hero.
But
Okay,
Bloodseeker is not so great. I do like the Bat, though. I don't think Balrogs has great answers for him.
Yeah, Bat's a good pickup here. More chaos to the team fight. You've now got a secondary initiator too when you have Mars and Bat in the team. So you can kind of split your targets because you can't just ram yourself 5 guys on top of one because then there's the IO. Like, you still have the relocate saves and stuff. So you have a way of targeting the IO and force Balrogs to kind of respond that, hey, our friend's in trouble. We need to do something. Odie, can you prison someone? And then Mars gets openings. Or the other way around. Mars goes in, Batrider spots someone alone, pulls them away. Simple. I also like the pick here.
So it is going to be Batrider mid against Kunkka. It's not the worst matchup for Balrogs, but I think they probably would have preferred having the OD there. And for Omega, it's pretty much perfect. The only sad lane is going to be Bloodseeker against Razor, but hey, he's fast enough. He should be fine. He's a big boy.
I wonder whose call it was to for Tano to play Batrider, because I went to check up his Dota buff, and he's only played 2 games of this hero. The last one he played against Inverse 4 days ago, and the previous time in 2020 in February. That's like over a year ago, almost 2 years ago.
That is a while ago indeed. Maybe he's just been playing it a lot in pubs on his Smurf or something.
In that kind of scenario, is that like a player's choice? Or is that the captain just yelling that you will play Batrider now? Or does he have anything to say in it?
When you have last pick mid, it tends to be player's choice. Because captains, they know a lot. But I mean, mid players are gonna know what the best matchups are. And as long as it fits reasonably well into the game plan of the captain, You tend to have a little bit of freedom when you have last pick.
You almost had that.
If I fits, I sits. Put that way. The first game with Balrogs versus Omega is gonna kick off here. Our lovely late night cast with T-Panda and Wingblade. I've been really enjoying these late night actions. My neighbor has been loving them too.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been knocking on the wall yet, but I did tell them I might be a bit loud during the night, and they kind of gave me a weird look. They're like, "Wait a minute, like, what are you referring to here?" And it's like, "Yeah, he actually they misunderstood me at first, not regarding that, but when I told them about noise, they were like, "Yeah, we heard your casting," and the way she said casting basically meant in the term of me trying to like play with my friends and yell loudly. So
Right.
after that, it was hard to explain that, yeah, I'm actually casting games. I was like, oh. It's into
some
a
good
pretty
stuff.
interesting dialogue for sure. But they understood. They were fine with it. They were like, if there's anything that's going on, we will let you know. I was like, yeah, sure. Let me know. Like, I don't care.
I just got myself COVID to get my roommates to leave.
Oh,
I honestly deserve
I'm not sure if that's a
so
good
much
thing.
dedication.
at least it's a security mechanism. Keep everybody away. But yeah, true. It does give you, in the end, like, I guess we're ready to make sacrifices for anything to get things to work.
These are heavy times.
These are definitely heavy times. We already got ourselves the first courier kill to start things off with. Io's going to be picking up Dark Demon's own donkey. Hoodwink. Going straight for an urn. What do you think about this?
I like it. I feel like if you have an urn in lane and you manage to get some kills, it snowballs into just such a big advantage. Because it's basically 2 free selves after every single kill, so you can keep resetting. It's just super nice in lane. But Panda, me and Rob, when we casted together, we always had this game where you need to predict exactly which hero gets the first blood on which hero. If you get it correctly, the other one has to buy person who got it right an apple. Are you in?
An apple.
Uh-huh.
Why an
We
apple?
like to stay healthy.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm exactly the most healthiest guy to go around that, because first blood potentially might even happen in the bot lane. Not really. Razor's just sucking up some damage. But I don't know if I should jump on that one. I can go for a no bet. First blood, I would... I don't know, man. Io dying in bot lane.
You
It's
wait
either
longer,
Hoodwink or
it's
Io. I
actually
feel like...
gonna
exactly,
man.
like... Okay, I'm just gonna say that... I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna dodge because, you know, I like teasing. I absolutely love teasing, and I feel like this is exactly what's happening right now. They're pushing the limits in both lanes, looking for that kill, but it's not happening yet. They're poking, they're prodding, but it's not happening.
Right, we'll see. I'm gonna say it's still gonna be Razor killing Hoodwink.
Razor killing Hoodwink. That's not a bad guess at all. I feel like we're gonna see a first blood in mid. Batrider
Ooh.
gets a bit cocky under the tower, gets torrented into the air.
Stupid.
Kunkka gets first blood.
Brave.
Or one of the supports rotating mid. But I feel like Batrider's gonna die.
Okay. If you get it half correct, you get half an apple. That's still healthy and nice.
The apple that you ate and is now potentially contaminated.
No, I'm all safe again. It's all good.
Okay, you're all good.
But yeah, so far Batrider hasn't been winning this mid lane too hard, and he did get last pick, so I reckon he's not gonna be too happy about this, because Batrider against Kunkka should be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the excuse we're always gonna give. Like, you get last pick and you don't thrive in your first minutes, and you're like, bad pick.
Right. You don't get away with that one
Oh,
if you
it
have
might
last
happen
pick.
here.
Doesn't
Might happen
man.
here. Oh, the TP rotation kicks in, at least forcing a teleport. Willow's not gonna be able to jump back in if something were to happen in the mid lane again.
We could see another attempt with the next flame break, but Batrider is still so slow. Like, it's hard to engage without boots, and Kunkka already has them. So even with some sticky napalm stacks, it's gonna be quite hard for him to engage.
I feel it's kind of like, oh, top lane. This might be the potential right here. Silencer is going to get stunned up. And OD, he's going to take away all of our dreams and our memes. And OD is also going to walk out as Bloodseeker is not able to rotate around the Bramble Mazes. And Balrogs score the first one. And there we go. There we go. You were close to the bet because Burner gets second blood. Yeah.
But no apples for me, alas.
No apples, but a valiant effort, nevertheless.
So far, Razor has been having a really good time in this bottom lane. Mars is, I mean, he's not doing too badly. As an offlaner, if you get some amount of farm, you tend to be pretty happy with yourself.
Yeah. It does get harder from now on, though. Razor IO feels like they're stronger together than the Hoodwink and the Mars. Like, you still have a lot of damage on these two. You have 2 good stuns. But if you're not targeting the IO, you're not really killing this Razor either.
Yeah, for sure. And Razor is going to be really fast as well together with the IO. And usually one of the weaknesses of Razor is that at the start he's pretty darn slow. Because a lot of his speediness comes from his passive, and you don't really want to skill up a passive this early that just gives 12% movement speed. So that feels kind of bad.
Kunkka, though, he's absolutely rocking the CS right now, and this is what we see a lot from mid Kunkkas. They just kind of exponentially spike their farm up into some ridiculous numbers pretty early on. We might even expect to see like a quick 2k net worth lead inside the first 10 minutes next to the second or third core who's going to be following up the Kunkka on the net worth chart. He's already up at 41 CS, which is a great start for him, but it just gets bigger and bigger from here.
Yeah, he's barely missed any at all. Now he's gonna miss one, of course. Thanks, Robozy.
Is that the extended Batrider right there? The 4th blood? The one that I guess that might happen? Well, it is the Kunkka just slapping away, and he gets Tano. So it's Robo-Z. Roboz. This one up. But Willow also makes a move mid. Yep. Good damage.
Wingblade almost died. Poor Squirrel. Getting completely wrecked.
Yeah, there's no business for this Willow. Not to even deny this tower. This Catapult's getting their work done. 6-minute tower. Would you believe that? Well, it has just happened. Tano, no lasso. Does have a point available. He hasn't leveled up anything yet. He could go for some other spell too. Doesn't get the opportunity for a lasso. And you've lost your mid tower in 6 minutes, 30 seconds. No Nature's Prophet in your team. No Abaddon in your team. Just a straight up Kunkka IO pushing it.
Yeah, I really love the rotation from the IO. First securing the rune and then having that time push with the catapult. It is really nice timing.
Seeker's gonna be in trouble. Maze is there. Here comes the Kunkka. Draken. Control onto this Bloodseeker, and that's your carry gone too.
This is an amazing start for the Balrogs here. All 3 of their cores are having a pretty darn good time, and this is before the Meteor Hammer even, which is only gonna make it worse for the Bloodseeker.
Yep. It's gonna make things a lot different. Look at the net worth chart too, like the distance. We're almost like at the 2,000 gap with the Kunkka compared to the second core from Omega, and even the Razor's up at 4k. Razor's having a great time after that lane. Like, this just got so hard, the Mars can't get much. Lysix hasn't been farming too much out of this lane, and still building his so-called support backup items before he can actually go for the bigger ones, like Blink Daggers or some auras.
I knew they couldn't stay away.
Now Meteor Hammer is out, so the top tower is gonna fall as well. Because at this point, no one can contest this OD either. Like, he's not the most farmed, especially compared to Razor or Kunkka. But just with this Meteor Hammer, he has so much pressure. Let's see what Omega can do once Batrider gets his BOTs though. That's when he's gonna start becoming active on the map. He's even skipping his ulti for now. He has a skill point, but he didn't really need it so far. And it doesn't help you with farming.
True, yeah. He would have wanted to get those boots of travels as fast as possible, but now I feel like, do you have enough play potential around the map if you just have your boots of travels up? Like, you can still farm this Batrider to be big, but who really farms on the side of Omega if you're looking at their heroes? They're not great farmers except for the Batrider. Maybe the Mars. I'm a bit worried about this Bloodseeker. Oh, he's going to be found. Relocate, Meteor Hammer with the prison. And Bloodseeker's going to get surprised. So I'm talking about farm. He's going to go backwards in gold.
Yeah, you don't pick Bloodseeker to play from behind. You want to win your lane and then snowball from that. So it's a really difficult position for Omega to be in, because they don't even win late game. The longer this goes on for, the worse it's going to get for them. So they need to make something happen, and they need to make it happen soon.
Well, at least if they open up this bottom tower, they get some farming space for the Batrider. Mars, I guess that's the plan. Get these two heroes big. But they're still, like, they're losing map control faster than they're gaining map control. I feel like that's going to be a big issue for Omega, is how do they hold, how do they stand their ground? Because at this pace, they're going to be turtle base.
Yeah. And another big timing for them would be the Mars Blink Dagger, but he is so poor.
He's far away. He's only just started building it too. So that's 13, 14 minutes on the Blink. What can we expect in 14 minutes for Omega? If that's their timing for the Blink Dagger, this is if the Mars doesn't die and he gets farm priority. Because Seeker's now died twice. He's really got not that much to give. He doesn't even have the levels, so Bloodright's not going to do that much damage. They've got the Batrider, potential killer, and Hoodwink might have ulti. Yeah, I'm suspecting this Hoodwink's gonna be level 6 in 5 minutes. So you would have global, you would have sharpshooter, you have the spear, lasso. You can kill 1, maybe even 2 targets. But then you're looking at Balrogs, who are gonna be very strong in 5 minutes. Like, they're already strong right now. They're just gonna, you know, I don't know. This is looking like a David versus Goliath.
Yeah, they're gonna have 2 BKBs in 5 minutes. Because Reza almost has his mithril hammer, and Kunkka is like 2/3 of the way done. And I feel like, speaking about a 13 to 14 minute dagger timing for Mars is pretty optimistic. Because if you look at his GPM now, it's 300. If you do some quick maths, at 13 minutes, it's like 3.5 minutes from now, so that should be 1,050 gold that he gains. Of course, GPM at the start is a little bit lower, so it's probably more gonna be closer to like 400 or something, but that still means he gets it at like 15, maybe even 16 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. It looks like that's gonna be the timing. I was thinking 14, like, very optimistically here. But I'm still kind of thinking that the situation for Balrogs, or sorry, for Omega, is if they were to siege a castle, they would have a slingshot. But if Balrog starts pushing down your towers, they're coming in through your front door with a battering ram.
Throwing corpses over the walls.
It's like in Lord of the Rings, where they shot those human heads over the walls. Demoralizing.
It feels that way, standing at the front door with a meteor hammer OD. That is exactly what it feels like.
Yep, staring into the eyes of death. Tano finds Io. Lasso used. Tether broken. Nicely timed.
Stupid.
And Io stuck on the left.
He's still invisible,
brave, but stupid. But that is an invisible Io who's still gonna walk his way out. He's gonna walk off the pain.
Detection. Feels bad, man.
That's what you do. That's what you do when something really hurts. When you stub your toe on the edge of the table, you walk off the pain. That's what Io does here.
Oh, that feels so bad. You're 4k behind. You finally get a pick off. They find an Invis rune and you don't have dust.
Not so safe harbor, eh?
Kunkka felt like taking this Bloodseeker into another round of boxing. Bloodright is well placed, though. They've used the arena. They found the OD. They do also have the bushwhack. But as that tree breaks from the Firefly, that's actually a pretty bad anti-synergy here for Omega. because OD manages to buy some time, and now Mars is going to go down. Also with the plasma field from the Razor. A Link connected onto the Batrider. There's no running away for Tano. Dark Demon is left under the tower all by himself. His friends have fallen. They got the OD kill, but they lost 2 cores. Maybe even more. Rupture onto the Kunkka. He's going to go for a TP home, and the Bushwhack is there. So they do have the catch on him, and he is going to go down. So in the end, it's not too bad for Omega.
Yeah, very nice for them. They were even very lucky that IO didn't have relocate when they got the pick on OD, because I feel like with a relocate, OD very well might have survived there. So that was really nicely timed, and then they find the Kunkka as well. Really nice turn of events for Omega. This is exactly what they need.
I just realized during that fight the anti-synergy with the Batrider and the Hoodwink in your team, because the Firefly instantly broke the Bushwhack, so OD got the prison off, because Bushwhack back in was like, if the tree was broken, it didn't disjoint the stun, but since a few patches it's been changed that it removes the stun if you break the tree. So Firefly just breaks it. So if you get like, oh, I got a 4-man, no wait, 3-man Bushwhack, no wait, I didn't catch anybody, like the tree's broken.
Yep.
It's gotta be careful
as if
those.
this game needed more feels Batman for Omega.
Yeah, they're gonna need every bit of luck. 5,000 gold behind. Could actually even look at the graphs, because they're giving us 16% chance to win, and we're not even through. We're basically like laning stage ended 2 minutes ago.
Ooh, it's 17% now, and you know what that means.
Oh, that's actually a big number. It's stuck on 17 now for a bit. So, Drew, the luckiest number of all, is luck gonna be the deciding factor? I hope not. We don't even have any proper RNG heroes actually in this game.
There's always roche timings and neutral items to be annoyed about. Don't worry.
There used to be a Hoodwink on the top lane, deleted from the server, combining the Meteor Hammer. They don't have the tower damage though, but they're still gonna go poking it. Couple hundreds of damage
Mega
still.
is moving in. They don't have a blink on Mars yet.
Okay, that's a bit of a miss though. Terrorize. Willow wants to use it. Fend them off. Keep the IO alive for just a bit longer. He does get the deny. Lasso will connect as well to Draken. And OD pushed all the way, speared under the tower too. So that's 1 kill for Omega. The ogres in the camp are happy. We get kill.
Yeah, even now, they just get the single one. That feels bad. But hey, they are finding the kills.
They are.
That is the way to get back into the game.
Even giving some for the AI because they're feeling comfortable with it.
Yeah, they're like, we don't need 2 kills. Come on, guys.
We don't need economy to win. We've won wars with even fewer equipment. Sometimes it's about the quality, not the quantity. Talking about quality, Kunkka is getting really big. BKB is now ready.
Yeah, skipping the armlet that we see so often. You know, armlet doesn't really do that much this game because there is barely any physical damage, and armlet toggling is very difficult too.
Oh, he's TPing all the way home. Okay. Why not? He's got TP boots. He can do that. Meanwhile, Balrogs with the smoke doesn't quite pay off. Mars has already spotted the Willow. Willow pushed away. Still trying to scout for some territory. Draken wants to go for a push. They've spotted the Silencer, who willingly is ready to go under the tower. Hold it, protect it, maybe bait the enemy.
Balrogs really want this tier 2.
They do. This is attempt number 3, I guess, at this point. Bushwhack connects.
Let's see how many heroes they want to lose.
Okay, X marked both. They've got the catch on the Hoodwink. He's gone. Silencer's also going to fall. They're not ready to protect this at all, so... I don't know what the plan was for Omega. Protect the tower, or... I think they got stuck halfway mid-sentence, because they've lost their supports, they've lost the tower. Balrogs will take it. They're happy with it. They got the tier 2s with the outpost now.
Yeah, I feel like they really wanted to defend that, but then halfway through realized that Bloodseeker didn't have a TP, and Bats was on cooldown.
Balrogs is here. Thanos caught. The one hero that was supposed to have a good game is now out of play. And Mars Is that a Mars Blink we spy? Yes, it is. This is the playmaking item.
15 minutes as predicted.
Well, Roshan is happening. If they can test, if they know about this Roche, this could be the prime timing for it. Okay, they smoke up. Roche is halfway. 3,000 HP. It's going down slowly. They might just be maybe able to pull off a pretty big play here for Omega. Balrogs still in the pit. 1,000 HP. Lessex is on his way. He's got the arena down. They're going to take the kill. They've got it. The snatch from Berna. They get the Aegis in the end. And global silence means that there's absolutely no sound in the world that sounds as annoying as the guy who actually yells that they took the Aegis from us. Io's gonna go down as the Rupture ticks on the Io. Batrider onto the high ground. Not gonna happen, but the Bloodseeker looking for a turnaround with the Bushwhack beautifully from Dark Demon. And they've taken down a couple. They forced out the Aegis, but it looks like they're running out of firepower. And Omega's gonna back out.
That was a perfectly timed smoke from them. And even then, the exchange is close to even.
They got the money off the Roche kill, which is pretty handy for them considering how broken their economy was.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna help them a little bit.
Invisibility.
Mars picked up 600 gold for that team fight alone. So not
Gonna
bad.
propel him towards his BKB.
They're gonna need that. Vessel for the Hoodwink, Force Staff for the Silencer. Bloodseeker's also closing up on BKB, so a couple more minutes. Omega's gonna have some tools to take the fight towards Balrogs.
Yeah. And now it's actually the OD falling a little bit behind. Of course, his Razor and Kunkka are still huge.
Yeah.
And if he can get a Blink and a BKB, that's pretty much all he needs in the entire game. But still, for now he is quite poor.
I'm also thinking, like, how much farming priority are they going to give to this OD? Because he's only at, like, 62 last hits or so. His farming tool is basically the Meteor Hammer, but they're also forcing it for the tower pushes. At least for now, what they've been doing so far. Kunkka's farming everything on the map. He's got the highest farm priority. Razor's caught up in CS, at least. They're both at, like, 155, 163, so... a lot of creeps have fallen at the hands of Balrogs.
Yeah, it helps the Razor so much that he has an IO, constantly injecting him with mana and giving him movement speed too. Actually turns him into a carry that can keep up with Bloodseeker in terms of speed.
Yeah, pretty mobile duo. Oh, Sharpshooter used in top. Hoodwink. TP cancelled. Willow's gonna live, but Hoodwink's not. Evasion doesn't really help there in the trees. He was just trying to push the lane.
Yeah, poor Hoodwink. Doesn't even have boots yet.
Straight up vessel push. Yeah, he's been building that vessel for a while. Earn already his first quick buy item since the laning stage started.
And Io also doesn't have boots, but Io is zooming around the map with 500 movement speed.
Living the life.
Even got the bull whip, which is so nice for farming.
Oh yeah. So how much does that actually give in terms of numbers? Come on, give me that. Give me that whip.
18% on top of the 428.
Give me the whip.
Some quick maths.
I just want to see how much that 428 turns into. Is that like 490? 500? Didn't have to go that high?
7 movement speed. It's definitely gonna be up there. But I'm not sure how it stacks with the Tether amplification, so I think it's probably gonna be a bit less.
Oh, 489. So yeah, I was 1 movement speed short. Quick maths. Well, at least back to the more important parts of this game. What's Omega's win condition here? Picking off one hero at a time, not allowing the Balrogs to initiate like they're doing right now. We'll have to see and wait if that is the case, as they've already lost the Bloodseeker. Glyph has been forced out too, so the Meteor Hammer doesn't do any damage to the tower, at least the initial hit. But Draken's very alone. Lissix, when does he go in? They could Spear, Lasso, kill this OD. The Fire Flame Break still goes through. Spear is there, connecting onto the tree. They're going to kill the OD, and here comes the rest of the squad. Berna is going to be there, but the DKB will be pop of the Batrider. Hano instantly getting away from there. Robos Kunkka hasn't used his. Razor also uses his to just get away from Omega, and they smoke up. This might be a smart call. No global. Sorry, there is a global, but there's no BKB up on the Razor. They're coming in from the side. Kunkka revealing himself. Lissex gets a really nice arena. He's pinned the Kunkka on the wall. The global silence is there too. So Io, he's just moving around, but they're not focusing the Io at all. They're focusing everybody else. The Razor dropping low on HP. The relocate has been used and they're out. And now Kunkka has to withstand the siege, the power, the damage, but he's not looking to live through this. The relocate's also going to come through. So Omega, they're running out of time. They never got the kill on the Kunkka. They might just get the Willow. No, they don't even get him.
The devil to pay.
They killed so many heroes. Almost.
Almost.
And then didn't quite finish them off. Razor was so incredibly low. And then Kunkka got ruptured and speared, and he was standing there like, alright, if you're not gonna attack me, then I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
now Bloodseeker
that's
is
gonna
gonna
be
be in
there.
trouble.
Flame break, unfortunately, doesn't break the channel off of the Meteor Hammer. So the stun still goes through. They're being pushed up. Another prison from the OD. He's also got a Blink Dagger picked up by now, and Batrider's angry. That's like a you know, like a war cry in the front of your enemies, but you're not actually committing to it because now they've realized, oh, that's not just a scary war cry in the end. They're going to take Tano down. And they found another. Lissex, nope. He's got the spear. Bushwhack into the lonely acorn shot tree placed down. Silencer down. Double kill for the Willow. They've also caught the Mars. This is just one by one. They're just losing heroes all over the place. One after the second one. 4 dead. Make it a full team wipe on top of the 2 kills. That added with the last team fight, that's 7 kills for Balrogs, and they haven't lost anyone.
Oh, that feels so bad. You asked about a win condition for Omega.
We
I
can
feel like
forget about
waiting
that.
For your BKB on Bloodseeker would have been nice. He was at 1250 gold
Yeah.
2 minutes ago, and then he died twice in a row. Just 200 gold shy of his BKB. And that really could have turned the fights for him.
He was farming it greedily in the front too and thought that he would be fine. Like, you know, he knew he kind of fully commit to that as well in front of the tier 2 tower. Like, I need this wave because I would have it.
Ah, timing. It is a fickle mistress.
Well, now he has it. But that fight also cost him about 4,000 to 5,000 gold going in the way of Balrogs.
Yeah. It's a great moment for the line, but at what cost?
Yeah, but at what cost? The most legendary words you've heard in Dota. What is the cost of the trade? Is it a trick of the trade? 4-man smoke from Balrogs to the top half of the jungle. Nobody here. Surprising move as well, because they popped it in the mid lane. I think what they did was, we've probably been spotted, so they were suspecting maybe a ward in mid, so they just gave up on the smoke. But Omega, they're going to go for their own. This needs to work out.
Yeah, this is kind of like a last hurrah, slightly before Roche. If they lose this fight, they're gonna lose... Let's see when it spawns. Yeah, they're gonna lose Roche if they lose this fight, or if they don't find someone here.
Yeah, I think we can all add up what's going to happen, but here we go. OD caught by BKB, popped by the Kunkka. Draken very low on HP. That's one down. That's their first kill. This is where you start building it off from, but Burna's already chasing away and forcing the Bloodseeker away. They do have the Mars in their arms. And straight pushing the Razor on top of the Silencer. Chance not going to be happy with that one. Kunkka trying to push Tano away. The Batrider able to teleport back home, but the Flame Break will finish off the Willow. That's actually quite a lot of money for the Batrider, because that's 767 gold for an unstoppable streak off of the Willow.
Yeah, not bad. Pretty good trade for Omega. They only lost their Silencer and Mars in exchange for the OD and Willow, which are like the same roles, but they're just so much richer, so it's definitely a trade favoring them.
Roche is also up now, but neither team's getting to it.
Ooh, but now
And the Bloodseeker.
Every single time something goes well for Omega, something immediately goes wrong afterwards. This is why we can't have the nice things.
Toying with the Silencer there, thinking that they might actually jump him, but they're going to leave him be for now. Balrog's moving away. Io is pinging the Roche pit. Roshan is back home. And they have found another. That's the Mars. One kill after the other. Balrogs, they have full domination, full control over the map. And this Roche is also going to give them a shard.
I don't know who this is gonna go to.
I'm thinking Io. Tether stun shard.
Yeah, because Willow already has it. It's not... I mean, Kunkka also has it already. On OD it's kind of gimmicky, but not super great. Same for the Razor.
Razor's taking the Aegis at least. Is this Io's lucky day? Yes, it is. Tether stun. Alright. I think it's the best shard you can come up with in your lineup. Willow already has. And I've actually been looking at this tidal wave Kunkka for quite a bit. It seems to be gaining some love.
Yeah, it is actually quite nice.
But it is actually quite nice. I think that's when Wind Ranger started to show around with the Gale Force. This is a pretty good shard, pretty damn good shard, and felt like it's almost broken.
Bloodseeker does have himself a Yasha on top of his BKB. It's not super poor, it's just that the Razor is very, very rich.
Yeah, that's that's one way to measure somebody's rich or poor. But Silencer gets back to the high ground. Meanwhile, the Willow with the Bentler, but they also got the Mars going in with a Spear into Draken. They've got the Global Silence connecting on 5. Tano surprising from behind, and OD's the one getting caught. He's gonna get the IO too, and Omega with 3 quick kills, maybe even more. Verna tries to move them away. Gets at least a kill on the Hoodwink and gets another on the Silencer. Make it a triple for Berna. Batrider trying to cut the wave in mid and is successful doing so. So there's not going to be a push. It's a 3 for 3. Aegis still remains on the Razor, but Omega. That was a great fight for them.
Yeah, once again, they keep finding decent fights. Now they just need to make sure that they don't immediately get picked off afterwards while their BKBs are on cooldown.
Yep, that would have been my follow-up question to you. Who dies next?
Goodness.
Who dies next? Who dies next?
Come on, man.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy caught again. The Bloodseeker caught in the mid lane right after they won a team fight. And I'm feeling like this guy is probably punching his table at this point because that must be a bit frustrating. His courier dies too. Now he's getting tipped. Can this guy's day get any worse?
Why did he send in his courier? I don't get it. He just died. He has, like... I am just baffled.
He punched his table. His mouse broke. Couldn't get
Maybe
the courier
his
back.
nephew just stole his mouse or something.
I don't know. USB stick out of the PC port. At least the tier 3 is taking damage. Can they burn this Aegis though? Oh, they kind of push away the Batrider too, but the BKB pop on the Razor keeps him up alive for a bit longer. IO down to half HP. I'm surprised the IO hasn't been the big target to focus on.
Ooh,
and look at that tidal wave.
tidal
Really
wave.
nice too. Lysix misses the God's Rebuke, but at least gets the spear to pin the OD onto the wall of the arena, and now he's stuck inside. He ain't going anywhere. That's going to be 2 more for Balrogs, and they found a Silencer in the trees. Pushing him away. This tidal wave is really making some work here for the Kunkka. And 3 kills for Balrogs. Hoodwink trying to look for a bit of revenge here, but all he can do right now is just stall.
Razor now going for an Aghanim Scepter. Usually not the best item, but for pushing it is really nice. I mean, they could just wait for the next Roche. He may get it for free.
Yeah, Mingate is not feeling happy with this game. Now he's furiously farming on the enemy side of the jungle. Sanjin, Yasha, BKB. That could make a bit of a dent, but I feel like the heroes of Balrogs are maybe a bit too tanky at this point. I mean, he could still kill the supports and kill Io, most importantly.
Yeah, the supports are no problem. It's the moment he has to man-fight this 3k HP Razor.
Oh, they found him again. He's got BKB though. He's gonna have to pop it, but he's not going in with it. So he's just disengaging with it. So that's on cooldown for a bit over a minute. At least they halt the push from Balrogs for now. Aegis down in 45 seconds. They would love to use it here.
Yeah, they have a full minute now where there is no Bloodseeker BKB. And they do have the Aegis still, so it's the perfect time to finish off the Rex.
Funko leading the charge. Again, X-Mark Torrent on the Silencer. Does a lot of damage with the Shadow Realm. That's already half of his HP pool gone. But the Cliff used. Mars is looking for an opening. He wants to catch at least one of the supports. Can he catch either of them? 2 big spells used. Now he could go in now. Still waiting for his time. Mingate, they've already lost the Silencer. Global Silence is available through buyback. Looks like they've already dealt the damage they wanted to take. Melee racks down.
Poor Silencer though, he got whittled down so slowly and painfully. They're just constant torrents and tidal waves.
It's like somebody has to tank the abilities for them to go in, but they still couldn't respond.
Now we have Aghanims up on Razor, so he can just pop it and go to push town.
Sadly, with the top rack still up, they can't just set camp here in the triangle and wait for the lanes to push in passively and then just go for the last racks. So they can take control of it, but they can't spend the rest of their game sitting in this one area, though. Omega looking for the desperate play from the back. It's a good move. Lissex in front. Willow's going to be right there. PKB this time from Draken. It's going to save him, but the Global Silence comes out. They've got the lasso. They've got the Io. The Io's going to be a big target, and Sexio will go down. Tana trying to get at least a bit more vision here. Mingate is being chased up here with the link from Berna. RoboZ gets a bit of damage into. Torrent almost connects on the Bloodseeker. He's got the blood right, so he's forcing the Kunkka away. And meanwhile, the fight is also breaking loose in 2 different segments. They're stacking up, and OD almost dies to the arcane curse. Silencer pushed away in the trees. Lissex, he's got down another arena, but the Silencer is he's not actually done for yet because that arena wall is blocking the right clicks from the Razor. But nevertheless, it's still gonna lead into the death of the Silencer. Dark Demon coming in from the back. He's sitting under a ward. They see him coming. Trying to catch the Razor, he's got it. Sharpshooter with the spear, but the Sharpshooter with some ability disconnected onto the Lincolns, and still this Razor's not giving an edge. He's not giving up. Io's also pumping a lot of healing into this Razor, 70 HP per second. Back to the Io again, almost getting the kill. Dark Demon's gonna go down to Draken. Draken's gonna get pushed away though. Omega, they're fighting with hands and claws and fists and teeth. They get something back, but Balrogs, another smoke. RoboZ, he's going to bait in the Batrider. Tano might have gone too far, might have gone too deep. Pops his BKB. He's got a teleport available. What does Mingate want to do? Bloodseeker coming out of the trees. X-Mark, torrented. BKB, though. Rupture onto the Kunkka. And Silencer. No, get out of there. Get out of there. No. Tidal wave again. Pushed with the Force Staff. Not going to get himself to safety. And just like that, that's another one gone. Io with the buyback. I'm not sure if 2 for 2 is actually our final scoreline here for this team fight. But that took quite a long time, Wingblade.
They drag on for so long every single time. And I'm astounded that Omega is even managing to still find kills somehow. Because they're 50k behind and they've been losing for a long time.
Yeah. This game has been going on for quite some time, and for Omega, I think it's a positive sign for them too, because this game technically looked to be over in like 15 to 20 minutes. There was a huge push and a huge momentum from Balrogs. They found the Batrider too, so they're gonna keep on getting these pickoffs that they want around the map. Again, Draken with the OD. It's done a lot of work.
Have fortified their towers.
He finally has his Blink BKB Media Hammer, so he can finally start playing the game.
Denying everybody else from playing a fun game of Dota.
Ooh, and they found Dark Demon. Run!
Yeah, Dark's gonna hide in the trees. Yeah, he's actually cutting the wave, so doing some important work to hold the base up for a bit longer. They need to hold for another 50 seconds. Tidal wave almost connects onto the Batrider. BKB by the Razor, ruptured up too. Aghanim's refresher, Silencer, good night. No Chan. Matrax also taking some damage here, and again they found another one. Hoodwink into the tidal wave, thrown into the air with the torrents. RoboZ finds another. He's 7-1-23 so far. Kunkka been part of 30 out of the 40 kills. 19,000 net worth. I think if we look at Berna's Razor, he's had such a free game.
This
This
IO.
BKB forced out of the OD at least. He was waiting for it. Mingate pushed in. BKB forced. Now the Razor will go for the refresher. He's got the link. Double link even. Doing so much damage. And they're just all falling around this Razor. Lissex with another spear. Doesn't hit the Kunkka with the BKB being used. Another tidal wave. Doesn't quite find Tano. They just got the Batrider back alive, but they don't have the heroes remaining to hold this base up. Balrogs, they're just punishing them time after time again. Tano inside the roots. Tidal wave. He doesn't even get back to his own fountain. Ultra kill for Berna. Do we get the rampage from his guy? No, we don't. It's going to be stolen by Draken in the end. Berna will give the tip for him for that. And GG was called. Balrogs. Domination.
This was a pretty hefty outdraft and outplay as well. Felt like every single lane for Omega was losing from the start, and it never got better. They showed some signs of life in some of the fights where they managed to get 3 support kills at the start. And yes, I'm counting OD as a support, because let's be frank, they were winning, but he was still kind of a support. But yeah, they need to fix these drafts.
Yeah, I guess Draken was somewhat of a support here. He was the big nuisance. He was the initiator, the guy who was constantly poking in the eyes of Omega, making them feel irritated. And he found so many heroes with those prisons. You could say that almost every single assist he picked up during the course of this game was through either him participating with a bit of damage from his ulti, or finding someone with a prison, or even getting some tick damage from the Meteor Hammer. But still, absolutely great work from him. He really enabled the team and made Balrogs look good, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
With the Kunkka and the Razor, though, how did Omega get punished so badly in the laning stage? Like, what was like the defining moment in those early first minutes, which kind of like let this game slide out of the hands of Omega Wingblade?
For me, the most important thing was Kunkka winning his lane. It's kind of expected that Razor wins his lane, and OD against Bloodseeker is also kind of a lane you expect to win on the OD, but Kunkka shouldn't be winning this hard against Batrider. And because he was playing from ahead and Batrider was playing catch-up, Bat didn't really have the opportunity to help out this other losing lane, so every single lane was playing catch-up, and when every lane requires space, it's not gonna work. You need someone to actually create this space.
Well, you've heard from the man who loves to build. So in this case, maybe Omega would like a couple of constructors to create some of that space for them. However, the game client needs to be updated, so we need to take a break. So we'll be back with game number 2 of Balrogs versus Omega. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We continue with Balrogs versus Omega. And our second game of this specific series. I have to say, Balrogs looked very convincing in the first game. I feel like they had a lot of fun, too. Maybe even a bit too much fun. So I wonder if they're going to change anything here for this second game. For Omega, probably we'll see some changes. At least they banned the Mars. Might as well just jump straight into the draft, as it is already ongoing. But what else? Is there something radical you would like to see in this game, Wingblade? Spirit Breaker, maybe?
I always like seeing radical things.
Mm-hmm.
You
What's the
know
most
me,
radical
that's
thing?
how I roll.
What's the
Techie's scary.
Techie's carry? Okay. I do
10
want to
seconds
point
to
out the
pick.
Valkyrie Cup we cast like 2 weeks ago, I think.
5 seconds.
2 weeks ago on a Saturday, I think that was the case. We saw Techie's mid and actually played really well. So I was surprised, but I was like, okay, sure thing, you can do that.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Valkyries, is that women only?
It's a female-fronted tournament, not only.
Radiant team
Ah,
pick.
right.
So
I mean, this is why we need more women in esports, so we get more techies mid.
yeah, I think it was like a 7 or 8K player who still played Techies in mid, so that was a valiant effort. So I enjoyed watching it. It was fun to cast though, because you're not suspecting a suicide Techies jumping into the
10
Roche pit with a
seconds
lot
to
of mines in there and kills Roshan while getting a triple kill. It's like, wow, that's like straight out of your
5
wildest
seconds
dreams.
remain.
Nice. I mean, those games are the best as an analyst because you can
Radiant
just
team
make
are
up shit.
picking
No one can
Admiral
disprove it
Conker.
because, I mean, no one has seen it.
No one's
So
seen
the-
it.
Ah, yeah, techies mid usually goes for a Valve Discord first item.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Exactly. Unless we're talking about like Queen of Pain, and then you see a Veil's been built on Queen of Pain, and then you add Dendi into the mix, and they're like, oh, wait, this is actually a build. But it still doesn't win you games. But our first phase draft is complete. Treant
Only
and
10
the
seconds.
Medusa. Is this actually the combo one of these teams have been playing? I saw some pairs on Medusa. No, this was the Medusa Weaver, which Balrogs has liked to play a bit. So Weaver, Medusa, and Void Spirit all in the same draft a couple times. Though they do not get the Weaver because it's banned by Omega, and Omega decides to pick Medusa for
10
themselves.
seconds to pick.
Dusa does look quite nice here.
5
Dusa is
seconds.
pretty
Hurry,
darn good against
hurry.
Kunkka. It's not super great against Willow, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's a matchup of a carry against the support, so you're probably still gonna be fine. It's just that Willow has a lot of disable and a lot of magic damage, which Dusa can have a hard time dealing with.
Also, what I like about this Medusa for Omega is, even though they've only picked it in 2 games, I've also won both Medusa games. So if you need to tie up this series, I feel like this is the hero pick to do it if you've already had success with it before. So 100% win rate hero. If they can just squeeze in that hoodwink, doesn't feel like we're going to see it. We might, because the Treant Protector is already there. But a pause for hoodwink could work for Omega.
You're gonna have lots of nuisances in the trees. One big one, one small one.
Yeah. Dynamic duo.
Both equally bothersome.
You can also cross through the lanes by throwing an acorn shot tree in between for the Treant Protector to cross through.
Oh, the
Only
synergy.
10
The
seconds.
synergy. You don't have the
feel-
invisibility anymore, but you still have the movement speed and
5
the
seconds
capability
remain.
to move around.
Mm-hmm. Then all Balrogs needs is a timber saw to just cut the trees, and then it's easy win.
Or a Bat Rider.
True.
But I feel like they're not going to go for it necessarily. They could still opt to go for a Bat Rider if they put Kunkka in one of the side lanes, and there's the Bat Rider ban. So no. Denied.
No bats here.
I do like this Nyx ban though when you have the Medusa.
Yeah, it would have fit really nice into Balrogs' draft.
Only 10
Bit of
seconds.
setup, bit of scouting, some mobility,
Mm.
vision control. Would
5
have been really
seconds.
nice.
Hurry, hurry.
For the same reason, I would love to see Balrogs pick up a Monkey King.
I feel like Omega also wanted to pick Bat Rider because of the Nyx ban. Classic counter with walking into Firefly with Carapace.
I see your point, but also Nyx count as like 60% of the entire Dota hero pool.
Yeah, true. I feel like they both kind of
Radiant's
counter
banned.
each other's in a sense. Like that's one way to counter the bat. I feel like the bat still just demolishes the Nyx.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nyx Carapace is like one instance of the 75 damage instances that Batrider does in a fight.
Yeah. They would. A
10
one-on-one
seconds to
would never
pick.
be fair, unless you have like 30,
5
40
seconds
stacks of
remain.
napalm on you, and that one right click gets projected
Radiant
backwards.
team are now
Then
picking.
maybe you might actually kill the Batrider.
But I think
LC,
then
yeah.
the right click would get reflected and not all of the napalm damage because there's separate damage instances.
They are actually. Good point. That makes a lot of sense.
So it's just Pepper Hands throughout.
But
Only
there's
10
an LC
seconds.
ban. I think we saw the LC ban as well in the first game.
5 seconds.
So
Hurry,
this is
hurry.
starting to look
Team
like
pick.
more of a let's remove one of the comforts from Omega. Plus, wasn't it Balrogs who also banned 4 offlaners in a row? Or was it Omega who did that?
That is a good question.
Rushing back to the Dota buff links.
10 seconds
Well,
to
you
pick.
looked that up. We have a Jakiro. Jakiro is
5
actually
seconds
really good
remain.
against Dusa because Dusa is a really immobile carry.
Yeah.
So spells like Ice Path and Macropire actually do a lot of work, especially in conjunction with the Dark Willow and Kunkka keeping people in place.
Right.
So usually Dusa is very good against these spell damage heroes because they only have a limited amount of damage.
Dire
But
team
if
are
you
now
can
picking.
keep Dusa in place, that becomes an entirely different story.
Yeah,
And Omega
it
Gaming
does.
is like, I don't like my carry being stuck in place, so I'm just gonna pick a Darkseer. Make my Snake Lady spooky fast.
Yep, might as well. I don't think it really
Only
changes
10
too much of the
seconds.
narrative here with the offlane bans. It was Omega
Radiant
who
team
banned
pick.
4 offlaners in a row, but it was also them who got rid of the LC. So LC being banned by Balrogs, I felt like that might have actually been an indicator towards a hero pick that they wanted to go for. But Darkseer Tiny, I don't think these two heroes have been seen together
10 seconds to pick.
that many times at
Dire's
least. I
banned.
do like to see both of these heroes being
Anti-mage.
picked up, but what's your
Okay.
take on these?
Um,
Or are you more intrigued by the anti-mage pick here?
I think the Darkseer we have been seeing more and more of because he has pretty good matchups against a lot of the popular carries like Dusa
Only 10
and
seconds.
Luna, those kinds of heroes. The Tiny
5
is a bit
seconds. Hurry,
more
hurry.
strange to me, but it does make sense because Balrogs did ban out the Earth Spirit, which I think is the primary pickup together with the Darkseer. So the Tiny is another decent option for bursting people down, but now Omega is in trouble. They have no tools to deal with Anti-Mage at all. Their lockdown is garbage,
Radiant's
and
banned.
the matchup of Dusa against Anti-Mage is pretty terrible. Let's see
Dire's
what they
banned.
can do. They need a mid hero that somehow fixes all of their issues, and I'm not sure if such a hero exists.
Well, what's the most versatile hero you can come up with that has a bit of everything?
I mean, I would usually say something like Ember Spirit, but
10
Ember Spirit
seconds
is
to
also
pick.
not great against Anti-Mage. You need something
5
that can
seconds
somehow
remain.
kill him and provides both the damage as well as the disable. So I think Lina may be good, but then your lineup is so incredibly squishy and Balrogs can just pick up something like Axe and win the game of that.
Like, I like the wombo combo potential here for Omega, but if this Tiny doesn't end up being a core, I feel like Medusa's just not going to get that required burst damage in, which is required for their vacuum overgrowth to really work out for Omega. So, yeah, I feel like Lina would actually be a pretty decent pick here, even though it is a bit of a double-edged sword, too, because of the anti-mage. You're going to struggle with killing the Kunkka, the rum buff, and all that stuff, really reducing and almost, you could say, diminishing the damage output that Lina also dishes out. But I think you're right. There doesn't seem to be a hero that's going to turn the tide into your advantage. It's just a small piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. When you know your last pick has to solve like 5 issues in your draft, your draft probably wasn't that good to begin with.
Well, they banned away the Viper, which could have at least shut down the Anti-Mage in the lane, so you're not even getting that hero through, where you could have potentially swapped around the lanes, but putting the Darkseer somewhere else so that they could use Viper to just shut down the AM. So no, not even that. And
10 seconds
guess
to
what?
pick.
You still have to play up against the opponent's last pick. You don't even know what
5
Balrog still
seconds
has up their
remaining.
sleeve.
Mm-hmm. They could just pick a very aggressive mid hero and try to go for a timing push. Invoker is
Yeah.
still in the pool, and with Invoker Dusa, you have a
True.
chance
Radiant
of breaching
team
high ground at like 25. But they go for something crazy. Okay.
Okay, well,
Fair
there's the craziness you kind of were hoping to see.
I mean, if this is a core shaker, then hell
That's
yes.
a mid tiny then. That has to be a mid tiny then, because then they get the burst damage that they kind of
Only
required.
10
And Shaker as
seconds.
a support, or even Shaker Darkseer,
5
Medusa tree
seconds.
into these
Hurry,
lanes, and they
hurry.
put tiny mid.
I really don't like the shaker laning together with Darkseer. That is such a bad lane combination.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just don't have confidence in Tiny Darkseer being able to win against Anti-Mage, which does make some sense, but I feel like if you play Earthshaker Darkseer, that is like the most passive lane I can think of, and AM is just gonna free farm anyway. And yeah, you're gonna have a bit more farm on your Darkseer, it's less risky, but you don't want farm on your Darkseer, you want to make sure that the Anti-Mage has a bad time. Because you're not gonna be able to take this late, even if you have a fucking 8-slotted Darkseer. It doesn't matter.
But I think maybe the item like choice order for Darkseer maybe makes a bit of a difference here. If you go like Dominator into Overlord helmet, would that make the trick? Because at least that could choke out the map from Balrogs.
It's better than going for something like Aghanims this game, which I think
yeah.
would instantly lose Omega the game.
Yeah, Aghanims feels like it's not the item you would look for here. I hope they don't build it, because I feel like I'm agreeing with you on this one, that it's just not the item to go for. So if I would see a Dominator, Omega could push. They could live with the tiny snowball, enable the tinies game, and look for pickoffs through the tiny, like Dark Willow, Jakiro. Jakiro is hard to kill, but Dark Willow you can potentially always find and quickly kill.
Mm-hmm.
Balrogs go for a bit of anti-push.
Death Prophet or Necro are really good here, because Omega Gaming has so many tanky heroes. So percentage damage is pretty insane. And it is gonna be the Shaker mid, so I'm quite happy to
So
see
Shaker
that.
mid, okay. And a 4 tiny.
I mean, I'm happy to see it. But actually, I was gonna say it's really bad against Death Prophet mid, but it's decent against Kunkka.
Huh. I don't know.
Not too bad.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of this mid Shaker. Like it's a one-trick wonder, and I feel like if Tano gets the space, if he gets the items fast, he can be a force to be reckoned with, and obviously create a lot of space for Mingate.
Mm-hmm.
But you're leaning onto quite a lot here. Darkseer's gonna have to, well, not necessarily forfeit his lane, but as you mentioned, AM's still gonna farm. You're not really gonna have an impact on this AM's game. And DP's gonna take your towers down early too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they needed something crazy. A conventional hero wasn't gonna cut it. Like, Earth Spirit was banned, Void Spirit is useless, Ember Spirit doesn't do anything, Storm Spirit is shit against Anti-Mage. Like, they didn't have a lot of choices. They needed something weird with a lot of physical damage that can shut down the Anti-Mage somehow if he gets some momentum. And I think Earthshaker is a decent option, because if he gets farmed, he's gonna be able to kill Anti-Mage at any stage in the game. It's not ideal, but ideal was far gone looking at their draft.
Well, sometimes you need to take a bit of an unconventional approach. Maybe this would be the trick that Omega is needing to win this game. Bring it up to a tie, stretch it to a map 3. These two teams are sitting in the same spot in the standings in the current groups here at SA 2nd Division. Balrogs has already been playing up against some pretty tough teams. Gorilla's Pride, they've fought against Infinity. They actually beat Gorilla's Pride, which was pretty good for them considering they did come from the close qualifier and instantly get signed by an organization. So Balrog's probably happy with the team's performance so far.
Look who's come
But
crawling
for
back.
Omega, they
1 minute
lost
until
to
40
Gorilla's
seconds
Pride.
after battle.
They have won against Wolf Team. Wolf Team, I don't know what to think about them anymore. I think we talked with you on the off stream, and also a good friend of mine who's a huge Wolf Team fan, at least since they signed the roster. He's been pretty disappointed too.
I can imagine. Like, these are established players, and I would have put them down as the favorites to win the entirety of Division 2, but sometimes
Death, death, death,
having
death,
good players in a team doesn't mean it's a good team.
It is what it is, right? At least in terms for Omega, they feel happy that they took that victory for themselves. But out of these two, one of them is going to go up 3-1 and tie up with Gorilla's Pride for that second place. And the other one's going to have to succeed or concede to a defeat. Still hold a spot in tied 4th to 5th place, or maybe even 5th place, because Interitus has played one game less. So you're still in the midway of the groups as you head over to the Christmas break, so that's not too bad. But it also does mean losing this series, you're not probably going to be in the top 2 after the end of the season. Maybe.
And speaking about midway, this mid matchup is going to be quite interesting to watch, because both of these heroes are well known for countering other melee mids. So they kind of counter each other, so let's see who counters harder.
RoboZ wants to get a lot of Tidebringer hits onto the Shaker, knowing that he's probably not going to have the highest amount of regen. Ooh, bit of a tiny lag spike there. Tano actually misses one of the last hits. That's rough. Can't always blame the ping, but it's always been a thing with SA. Something I avoid talking about sometimes, but I think it's worthwhile mentioning that when the server's Brazil and when the server's Peru, the other team might have an advantage because they have like 5 to 10 ping and the other has like 200. So you might change your drafts according.
Only one SA team that doesn't have to deal with that, luckily.
Yeah.
Because of course no ping.
Yeah, no ping. So obviously always living in offline conditions, right?
Yep.
Well, talking about the other lanes, let's look at take a quick glimpse at least at this bottom lane. Not sure if we're going to see any kill potential happening over here. Bit of poking and prodding. Jakiro definitely wants to hit this Darkseer when you still can. Prevent him from getting up those early levels. Iron Shell creeps is still easy to deal with at this stage of the game.
But it's not gonna get much better for Darkseer. It's just a very difficult lane against Anti-Mage, because Anti-Mage buys Battle Fury, he has some built-in magic resistance, he has mana drain, and if the Iron Shells ever become too scary, he can just blink away. It's literally the perfect lane matchup for an Anti-Mage. I would expect him to get like 25 to 30 denies in this laning stage.
Well, that is already 1/3 done. We got some lag confirmed here on the side of Balrogs. So I think we might be having a bit of a longer pause, potentially. That's a lot of XDs in chat. I'm not sure if I like this.
So many XDs.
All you have to do is let me in.
Also the top lane, which we haven't really discussed. Medusa's coming out pretty healthy right now against DP with 8 CS is alright, but Medusa 14 so far, so Mingate. I don't remember how well he did in the last lane with the Bloodseeker, but this one looks good.
It's really impressive, because the last hitting on Medusa isn't the easiest thing, especially at the start. She's been doing a great job. I don't
Easy to
think
miss
she's
last hits
missed-
for sure.
Yeah, she's missed like a few maybe.
John. Quick punch to the DP. Reminder that he's still here. We got a toss on the Jakiro meanwhile in the bot lane. Lysix and Demon. They actually body blocked the Jakiro between the creeps and the trees, so he's forced to use a tanker to get out of there. But this looks to be a potential first blood as this Jakiro goes down in the hands of Lysix, and now AM gets a couple hits in, burn up, punishes the Darkseer a little bit, but not enough to take a kill. And Omega score the first blood. Would you have seen that coming? I did not.
I would have. I mean, it's not too crazy that Tiny Darkseer has a good lane against the support. Especially Jakiro, he's very immobile. It's hard for him to escape once he gets stunned and ran down by double Iron Shell. It doesn't really change anything about the lane, but it is very nice for Darkseer to at least get some money somehow.
Stupid. Brave, but stupid.
Not completely out of the woods. I just felt like the way that this lane's been going, Treant meanwhile in the top lane's going to go down. He just walks into the root to take some extra damage. Medusa has 15 stick charges and a fairy fire, so Balrogs are happy with punishing and trading at this point, getting a kill on the Treant. But back to the case of the bot lane. With Anti-Mage having such a free lane in terms of CS, he's still good at trading against the low mana heroes of the Darkseer and the Tiny.
I feel like at some point Jakiro should just leave the lane and just go ganking or pressuring the Dusa. Of course, that does leave the Tiny completely free to start pulling waves, which is annoying. But at the same time, Anti-Mage is gotta be pretty much fine in this lane no matter what.
Yeah, I like what Burner just did there. He blinked into the creep wave to draw aggro before it walks under the tower. I really liked him do that. Now, taking a bit of damage from the Iron Shell creep. Sexy Yogi also taking a couple hits from it too. Jakiro's also lost almost half of his HP pool thanks to that one Iron Shell creep. That's a level 2 Iron Shell. 50 DPS.
Does he bother the Sirius, but I think he needs boots.
Yep, Jakiro going down a second time. 2 kills for Darkseer. He was feeling happy with it. Meanwhile, actually in the mid lane, as the Dark Willow rotated, Kunkka with the help will take down Tano.
Really nice timing on the mid rotation once again. Kunkka hit 6, and immediately there is a Dark Willow nearby to assist.
And the action rune too. There's not going to be a contest for it.
No 6-minute tower, but still a good start for the Kunkka.
Killing the Shaker before level 6 and getting a free Arcane rune. Kunkka feeling like a potential stroll could maybe happen, but there's an Obs ward in front of the Roche pit. And another freshly placed down on top of the cliff on the bottom half, so they should see this Kunkka rotate if he's missing from the lane for too long. So I think Tano's instantly gonna report Kunkka missing.
Tano is still having an okay lane on mid though. He's never gonna win it now because of the level 4 Tidebringer, but I mean, he's getting decent farm.
Yep. Where does he build this into? We go like power trade. Wait, is he actually building mana boots? Okay, so I was thinking like power trade / face boots into like blink agonyms, maybe a Crystallis in between for some damage. What would you build? He's going for mana boots.
I think you either want to get a really quick blink or just get the agonyms first. They need some way. That was a lot of damage from the boat.
That was a lot of damage. Wow. Well, there's that. The tower's still taking damage from these spirits. DP is happy to just sit around, farm another wave, get some damage onto the tower. There's also the Kunkka. 3-second cooldown with the Tidebringer. Seems good. Sean in the trees. They can't find the Treant though. They locate where he is, but he can't really hold this tower. Decisions out. They're still ticking, still taking damage. Darkseer TPing towards the bot lane. They're going to sack this tower while holding theirs, so it's going to be good for Balrogs.
Top tower is under siege.
But back to the Shaker build. What was it? What you did say? I might have caught.
They need some way to catch the anti-mage because Treant getting an overgrowth is just not a realistic situation. I don't think Tiny is gonna get a quick blink either.
They found Sean. finally got the catch on him. They have the damage though. Urn ticking, but he's still getting some heals. And I feel like he's going to live through it. Still, also gets some damage on the Kunkka. Nice Echo Slam. Tano gets the kill on Robo-Z and Draken. He's trying to make his way out of the tower that is constantly pummeling him, but he also got the connection from the Aftershock. DP trying to make a run for it. Down to 400 HP. He could find a kill in between. Oh, nice jukes there from the Treant Protector as well. While they've taken down Lissix in the bot lane. Doesn't matter because they finished off both the Kunkka and the DP in the top lane for Omega. And they hold the tower.
This is one of the reasons why Treant is strong. He's just constantly healing the tower and deep pushing with his Nature's Grasp. It's so hard to commit to a tower against the Treant. And now Exo is down, so tower is just gonna heal to full with level 3 living armor.
Yeah, level 3, man. It's a lot of healing. Happy little people taking a, you know, shamanistic dance around the tower, and suddenly Concrete starts to find its place back in. So this is what Balrogs also know. They need to commit to this. We can take this tower down. It's already been held by almost 300 so far. Omega still sitting in the top lane as Draken's also here. 3 seconds for Exorcism. Overgrowth is up though, but there's no Echo Slam. And now the tower is eventually and finally going down in the hands of Robo-Z.
It took a while, but they get it nonetheless.
Yeah.
And once again, Kunkka not going for an armlet, really favoring both the BKB and Heaven's Halberd instead. Yes, he recognizes that he's not gonna be the carry this game. He just needs to have the utility, both against magic as well as physical damage.
He's also removed his ideas of going for mana boots. Darkseer almost has mechanism. Tiny starting to build into a Blink Dagger too. Tano has been X-marked though with the Torrent. Nice stun onto 2. So he does not take any initial damage at least.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Robo-Z still throwing in some Tidebringers, trying to get rid of this catapult. They have a catapult of their own, which they want to use with the help of the Exorcism. Dragon's already in the trees. This is like watching Leshrac gameplay, to be honest, right now. Sean, very risky teleport here. Trying to make a turnaround with the Treant. They've got the X-Smart boats on its way. Overgrowth onto 2. Jakiro caught. Toss coming in 2. Connecting on both. Mingate's here with the Medusa. Echo Slam. And a bit of damage onto Draka, but he's still fine with it. Tano forced away with Terrorize, just completely counteracting the situation. X-Mark onto the Tiny, keeping Demon away from Draken. DP still on the run. Avalanche with some damage, but the run buff. The goddamn run buff. DP's so drunk she didn't even feel that she was hit.
Yeah, she's already really tanky. Usually it takes a bit longer for DPs to become tanky, but with the Kunkka close by and just the ability to siphon off really high HP heroes, she's already a force to be reckoned with. There is almost a blink on the Earthshaker.
Yep, they did use the Exorcism and the Ghost Ship for it, so Tano, I don't think he's still going to make it through. No, he's just melted. Bedlam does more than enough damage for them to take down Tano in the top lane.
And Battle Fury is up for Anti-Mage. It's farm o'clock.
Good time.
Radiant have fortified their
Burna's happy.
He doesn't have boots, so it's not the most impressive time, but still, he doesn't need it any faster this game. He has plenty of time. It's not like Omega is gonna be knocking at the high ground 5 minutes from now.
I love how the moment he picks up his Battle Fury, he's also toggling his branches, so he gets himself like 0.4 more mana regen for 6 seconds, which is, you know, efficiency. Love to see that. Dark Demon.
2 bounties.
Tossed into the air, takes a bit of damage there though. Yep, double bounties. Nice. Nice extra money for the Anti-Mage. He's already got 1 piece towards his boots.
The Possessed Mask as well. Best possible item you can get.
Triple Ancient stack too.
Brave, but stupid.
Double down.
It's actually quite difficult for him to actually
Going on the
take
Jakiro
this
in mid.
stack.
Tiny Airlines. He also lost the Earthshaker in the top lane, so
Stupid.
still don't know if that's a valuable trade. Tano I feel like it was the carry player Mingate who's the one who's being caught in the lanes, but now it's Tano who's just caught in front of his own tower or pushing down a lane.
They're switching it up. That's good.
Hey, you try for a change. At least the Medusa's farming, so that's still a piece of Omega's gameplay book right now.
Right. There is a time in the game where Anti-Mage has like his Manta and Dusa is ready to fight. That's gonna be a strong window for Omega.
Growth. Using a lot of resources for this DP. Demon wants this kill. Toss as well with the Avalanche. The Echo Slam's gonna be enough, and Tano picks up a double. And they even use the gaze from the Medusa. X mark on the Kunkka. Demon still going, looking for the toss. Should be able to. Jakiro with the body blocks. Beautiful. Movement speed runs out from the Tiny as the Surge comes to an end. Jakiro even frozen a liquid fire. Is it enough to kill this tower? It's ticking, down to 26 HP. Not enough. Living armor's there. Toss on the Kunkka, though. Thrown all the way back to Omega. Pops his BKB. And he also makes himself invisible, so he should be fine. As he is.
It's not the BKB reveal of dreams, but it keeps him alive.
Not taking any second chances, at least. Matt is up on the Medusa, revealing himself. Robo-Z is there with the X mark. Doesn't throw the Torrent, though. As Tiny goes in, the Surge works. It works. They found a way. They found a way to deal with Balrogs with the Surge and the Tiny running in, but still don't have enough damage to take down the DPs. He's down to 500 HP. Bedlam also used. The Shaker has to walk away. Tiny also on the run. Macropyre lingering and taking damage, but he's living with 20 HP. Do we see a wild Torrent play from the Kunkka? I don't feel like he is going to be on the other side as this Tiny gets to walk out. And still, the battle for this mid-tier 1 tower continues. With the liquid fire there, Robo-Z wants to get to hit the towers. The fissure wall ends, and finally they take it down. They take a Treant Protector with them, too. And it's been such a long siege. It finally comes to an end.
The battle between the liquid fire and the living armor.
War of attrition.
It is a liquid fire maxed as well. Not a build we see very often.
That's a Dark Willow. It's also a DP. Dragon just get the silence onto 2. Darkseer, difficult target to kill here. It's also vesseled up. Now they could. Bedlam's there. They're gonna get this kill. Darkseer's out. They also lose the Willow in the process. Yoge chasing up the Shaker. Shaker TPing out. And Tano is away. Meanwhile, the Tiny wants to go for this kill. The supports are trying to kill the DP, but they're running out of firepower. Draken walks out. Even uses Spirit Siphon onto the catapult to get some extra HP as Chan is just baited in. Treant down. 3 more kills for Balrogs. And he only lost the Willow for it.
This is kind of the time where Omega wants to start their snowball. Because they have maybe 5 minutes left before Anti-Mage becomes unstoppable.
Medusa also recognizes it. She's going for Butterfly. They need damage. She's TPing in too. Is this the play? Sexia Yoge down by Tano. Shaker getting punished here. He's got stick charges. Mangate trying to keep them away from his precious Shaker. Feared away with all that extra movement speed. And now Medusa's getting caught in the Torrent. Now Demon all by himself in the front. Balrogs, look at their positioning. They're going back to the high ground. Splitting the fight for now. Exorcism still checking. Chan, Tano, they're under a ward. Mengate coming in too. He does get away from the stun from the Willow. Another Torrent connecting onto the Shaker. Tano's down. And we also have the Anti-Mage. Burner comes in for the quick kill. Draken, though, he is down. Exorcism has been burnt. Chan falling low on HP. Burner goes for it and gets it. Safeguarding the Willow. Willow's placing down more vision as well, so they see the Tiny's moves, where he's going. Willow could juke around the trees as she does, but then she walks back into the Tiny, so not sure if that is the great escape. Might just be. Mengate is coming in from the other side, and now they put down some wards. Oh, there's a courier. Okay, sure thing.
Gets it.
Calculated.
Power move for sure.
Well, that was a fight. 2 for 2.
Anti-Mage gets all of the money though.
Burn has
Like
let him
he
life.
need it anymore.
Double damage.
He's still not crazy fine. He's doing okay.
I mean, when you have a anti-mage who's kind of already online in terms of farm, and he gets even more on top, that's when you're starting to doubt yourself.
Mm-hmm. He's finding all of the ideal neutral items as well.
Sadly, it was Omega who had the 17% in the last game, but they're not having any luck on their side. Not any real luck. I feel like they're just a hard working class team. It's all honest work.
Right.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
I'm not sure where that came from, but I do like the analogy.
Well, they don't trust luck, so just make it work the old-fashioned way. Unlike the anti-mage, who's just picking up all the best neutral items in the game. Oh, look at that! The enemy's low mana. I'm just gonna blink in and drop this ulti right here. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Nah, of course. This AIM's had a really good game so far. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger from now, and Burna's definitely, you know, you need to have a bit of RNG to break records. Not necessarily a record-breaking game, at least, but he's already got more than 10 last hits per minute, so that's definitely a good pace.
And now he can just get a Scatty or something and make sure that he never dies, ever.
Yeah, Liquid Fire with now the Growth Bow is going to make this tower fall even faster. Living Armor is just not going to do it, not going to be enough. He needs that level 20 talent for the +8 Living Armor bonus armor.
And Jakiro actually has more range than Lina right now. He's at 825. It's almost sniper level.
Almost. Nice move here from Balrogs, trying to look for it. But wait, Burna's been killed! Burna's been killed in the jungle. Missed that one completely. What happened there? Tiny. He's also moved around. Balrog's looking for a bit of revenge here for losing their carry. You can't really help but highlight how important this AM is going to be for Balrogs, the way that he's been playing this early game. This is definitely gonna feel good if you're Omega, even though they do give a kill for it, but still, that's a huge pickoff. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's just a blink reveal from the Tiny on top of an Echo Slam. It is enough damage at this stage of the game. Especially because Enchant Totem hits like a truck. This is the reason why they picked up Shaker. It's a Blink Initiator. When you play him in the core role, that has one of the highest physical damages you can ask for at this stage.
Yeah. Darkseer's just simply not tanky enough against Balrogs, and especially the Vessel, which hurts the DP every time they get it on. That mechanism's not really going to help at all. Just not getting any healing out whatsoever.
It's not a great Darkseer game. The one thing you can hope for is getting an AM illusion. So eventually this shard plus wall does create two really strong illusions. But at the same time, AM can generally just blink away from them, and then sure, your team dies, but you're an anti-mage. You don't care about your team anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy. AM players, or AMs generally in a game, are usually the guys who show up last for the party.
Like you start hearing the JoJo music,
Yeah.
and then he comes in like, I finished farming.
Yeah, you're like you're like holding a housewarming party, and everything's going well. You've been hosting it for a couple hours, and then you're thinking like, what happens next? And then this guy just barges in from the front door. He's completely uninvited, but he's still welcome to the party for some reason because he's so cool.
Let's see if he can make it happen, because for now he's still being outfound by the Dusa. He's still gonna need a little bit more before he can actually carry this game.
Oh, at least Medusa does have the butterfly, so a lot more damage. I would like to see a Daedalus on this Medusa, but we'll see if she does go for it. Scotty Daedalus is like two good items you would like to have this game, but I'm not sure if that's what Mingate is thinking about right now. BKB for sure. BKB Manta, you have two defensive tools against Balrogs. You definitely need some. Very important hero for the team. Demon has been spotted with the ward. They found the Willow. Willow does get just enough of healing using that Essence Ring. Echo Slam connects onto 2. Bit of Echo damage as well onto Draken. And Berna able to blink out with just a couple HP. And this is not looking too great for Balrogs, at least for the start. But Omega, they blew everything they had. Can they get these kills? They need to make them happen. DP's already found the first one. Draken moving around. They've gotten the kill onto Robo Z at least. Sexy Yoga going for the TP out from Mingate. Medusa unable to get this one. Sean is down. DP is also getting killed by Tano. Make that 2 for 2. So 2 cores for the price of 1. Maybe a potential kill onto the Willow. Blink is up in 8 seconds. Hey, I'm just going to toss my buddy and he's going to do all the work for me. Triple kill for the Shaker Tano. And that's probably the best fight from Omega we've seen in, well, the course of this series, almost.
And this is definitely the timing for Omega. They have the butterfly up for the Dusa. They're about to have the BKB as well. And Shaco has Blink BKB. So this is the time where you can actually kill Anti-Mage pretty easily still. And all of your other heroes have their key items too. So if Balrogs manages to survive the next 5 minutes, I feel like they're gonna be in a comfortable position. But this is the time for Omega to win the game. And to take it to a deciding game number 3. This is their shot. Let's see what they want to do with this timing. They could try to go for Roche, but it's very risky.
Brave, but stupid.
I would love to see Dusa pick up a rape here now. Skadi is such a... I don't want to say game losing, but it doesn't really help you that much. Like, you're in no danger of getting bursted this game, so the tankiness doesn't really do much. Yeah, now the 5-minute timing is all messed up. This AM is gonna get himself in Aegis, and it's gonna be another like 5 minutes of guaranteed farming for him. Even bought the bloody Agonies. That's gonna be a Roche for the side of Balrogs. It's starting to feel a little bit desperate for Omega.
Invisibility.
You like beams?
Dire's middle tower is being attacked. Radiant's bottom tower
Yep,
is being
Anka
attacked.
lives, Anti-Mage lives, gets another kill.
Dire's middle
He's
tower
starting to
taking
get to
damage.
critical mass T-Panda. I'm not sure what Omega can do. Timing has passed.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked. Dire's middle tower is now but a memory. Fire and ice.
Daedalus is better than Skadi, but still not as good as Rapier, because if you die once, you're gonna lose the game anyway. Because you're either gonna lose multiple sets of racks, because you're playing against an anti-mage, or you're gonna have to buy back, at which point you're gonna be in a terrible position anyway, so I still think the Rapier is better.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Dire's bottom tower is in pieces. Radiant's top tower is under siege. Dire's bottom tower under fire.
Lag.
Stupid. Brave, but stupid.
It slightly favors Omega in terms of gold, but it doesn't really help them too much in this game. Ooh. No detection though. There is a tidal wave. Man, that shard is insane actually. It almost doesn't have a cooldown.
Dire's bottom tower under fire.
Bounty!
We've seen a lot of Kunkas, but RoboZ is playing a distinctly different style. Not going for the true armlet core Kunka, getting the quick utility items and then just doubling down on that utility role. I wouldn't be surprised to see him building an Aghanims at some point either.
Mine!
I don't think Balrogs is feeling too pressured. They know that the later this game goes, the better it's gonna be for them. So they're just gonna farm the map for another at least 3 minutes. And then slowly transition into another Aegis.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
They need to kill AM. If they don't kill AM, they're not gonna win the fight. And they can definitely still kill him in a single stun. Like if you echo him into Enchant Totem, into Fisher, Anti-Mage is definitely killable.
Stupid. Brave, but stupid. Finds me.
I tore your guts with my blade. Illusion!
Little humility is good for you, Tiny.
There is still an Echo Slam, so if I were an anti-mage, I would be slightly hesitant. Doesn't look like there's a lot of defensive items on Balrogs either. They just have a Force Staff and a Glimmer. So I don't think it's worth the risk to go high ground, even if it's 5v3 and you have a 14k lead. There's just no reason to risk it.
Also, I might have realized that the same thing as last time we were casting SA. I might have muted myself for a quick cough, and I forgot myself muted, so Hello again. Don't worry, at least we've had Wingblade to entertain us. I mean, they're all they need. They just need you to tell what's happening in the game. For me, it's just they can obviously see what's happening on the screen anyway.
But stupid.
I can assure you, dear viewers, that T-Panda had beautiful insights and wonderful play-by-play casting. You missed maybe the best casting I've ever heard. But
Potentially. I mean, we've only heard Wingblade, but at least look at this. Tano walks into 2, and we can definitely hear this one as the Willow's just getting pushed around here with this avalanche. Terrorize onto 2. Medusa's also inside it. Fear away. Look at Robo Z. He's waiting in the back. He's waiting for the whole fight to break loose, but they got the Echo Slam. The Anti-Mage is in the middle of it. Can they take down Berna? It's also blinking in for some damage too. It's going to be able to get away as well as Lilith is down. Sean has fallen. And Robo Z with a BKB. Now he's found his time to show, but he's also tanking a lot of hits tossed into the air. Mingate is down by Berna. And they've also taken down the Kunkka. Tano's the next to fall. Another catch with the Ice Path from the Jakiro. Shaker dead. It looks like even the Tiny's going to get caught as he's hit by a Spirit Vessel, and AM knows exactly where this guy is going. He's found the Tiny with the Illusion, and Draken with one more hit, another Spirit Vessel charge. Tiny ain't going anywhere. Double kill for the DP. Team wipe by Balrogs.
everything needs to go perfect for Omega, and it didn't go too poorly in that fight, but it wasn't perfect. So Anti-Mage survived. He could just sit at the outskirts of the fight, constantly sending in illusions, blinking in and out. And Dusa was just completely stuck in place, which also showcases just the strength of Balrog's supporting lineup. Like, they have so many stuns and ways to keep immobile carries in position. So Dusa could just never really deal the damage, which is quite something to say after she did 6k damage in that fight, but she didn't deal the damage where it counted.
Stupid. Brave, but stupid.
Well, at least the melee racks are now taken by Balrogs, and this top lane secured. Roshan's also up in 1 minute 40 seconds, so that's a slight relief for Omega because they have time to regroup, get their abilities back up. Potentially even contest outside the base. They don't know about it. They're already pinging potentially Roshan is being up because all they know is just the minimum timer.
Mm-hmm. And AM, he is 6 slotted now. He's gonna start replacing items soon, buying the Aghanim's Blessing for himself.
Oh, look at this. They're going to walk right into the hands of the Jakiro. They see Burna. Fisher stun on 2. Can they get this Echo Slam followed up on the AM? But there's just no damage. The Medusa is at the back lines. Jakiro is ice pathing and dual breathing and just constantly harassing this Medusa, preventing her from attacking. Now she pops her ult. She's also disarmed by a halberd into a terrorize. She's not getting to play Dota, not one bit. And AM looking for the ulti. Mana Void actually goes into the BKB of the Medusa. Medusa is still trying to hold her ground with the damage. 1 versus 5 here, but it's not gonna work for her. And Medusa down 85 seconds. It does feel like this might just be the end of the game. Tano caught by the Dark Willow. Balrogs again. No casualties, all taken, no prisoners. Chan is going to be there, but the creep wave, well, might be a bit far away. It's still coming down on the mid lane. So they might as well just kill the tree while they're at it.
There is a buyback on Dusa. Maybe they can try to go for one last fight, but without the ultis and without the Shaker. It's so hard. I guess this is just going to be Megas.
Megas or end the game. Drakens throwing in some smileys into chat.
Classic V smiley.
Yeah. At least it's not just not the closed column, at least, which we see from our eastern neighbors. Another attempt from the Tiny, but the Ancient's already falling, and that means Balrogs will clean this one 2-0. That's a sweep. They definitely deserve it here, as Omega didn't offer too much of a challenge for them here today. So Balrogs, well-deserved, victory 2-0 today.
And some nice ult chatting at the end as well.
Gotta
I
love
wonder if there is any bad blood between these teams.
Hey, this is SA, bro. This is filled.
True.
It's filled with banter. We thought NA was banter, but man, SA is quite the something.
It is insane, the things I have witnessed.
But
in
at
SA
least,
Dota.
at least outside of that, Balrog's performance, rightfully so, they take this series 2-0. They were the hungrier team. And Omega was kind of left, if we talk about Omega for a bit, I don't know, a bit, could say disconnected in some way.
And I feel like they outdrafted themselves both games. They tried some weird stuff with interesting openings, and it just didn't really pay off at all. Well, Balrogs, they just had really easy to execute drafts with like clear timings, and they didn't even have to play that well. They just had a better draft. Like this game, Omega's window was so incredibly slim. They needed to play perfectly, and you can't really expect games to go perfectly because it's Dota, it's all over the place, it's messy. That's just the way it is. Especially for Division 2 teams, it's not always as pretty. So going for these kinds of drafts, I don't think it's worth it.
It didn't pay off for them, at least. Like, in the first game as well, we saw the Bloodseeker come out, and also the last pick, Batrider. We kind of pondered on it, that is this the last pick kind of that is going to have high impact? Nope. And I felt like the Bloodseeker was very underwhelming too, which was a bit worrying, at least in my eyes. I was hoping to see that they kept this good early game combo going on. They lost all their lanes, almost, you could say. Conker just farms so much faster. So in that case, you could say mid was a tie. But they shut down the Batrider. The Mars didn't get too much out of it too. And then you go into the second game, where the Shaker got killed in mid. The offlane wasn't going too great for the Darkseer either. And then you're supposed to create space for Medusa. Again, when do you or how do you create space when there's no space to be created?
And then they had that small window where they got the butterfly on the Dusa and they got the BKB, but then they lost Roshan, and at that point the game was pretty much over. Because Anti-Mage is just gonna farm another 2 free items and your Echo Slam is no longer an impactful spell. But yeah, it was just a drafting issue. If they can fix their drafting, I think they're gonna look decent. I think even execution-wise, they didn't look as strong as Balrogs, but drafting is definitely the first thing and probably the easiest thing to fix.
Well, let's see what they come up with on the second half of this DPC tour, because we're now done with week number 3 with SA Division 2. And we're also done with this year's cast, pretty much, Wingblade. I don't know about you. You might have some things still coming up in the next few days. There's still some NA action, I think. But from my behalf, I'm actually done with 2021. Hopefully next year's going to be better. Oh, so we're both done? All right. Sure thing. So what happened in 2021? Obviously, a lot of people's going to say, yeah, we're still stuck with COVID. And we're going to say, let's hope next year's going to be better. A third COVID summer is going to suck, which most likely is looking to be the case. Still, what happened this year that you were happy about?
Well, I got back into casting. The first, the ending of 2020 and the start of 2021 was pretty quiet for me in terms of Dota. I had some other things, some studies, but then I got some nice opportunities to cast again, and I started playing again, found some of my old passion for the game, and I'm very happy to be back. So I hope everyone watching is enjoying my casts. If you have any feedback or comments, just send me a tweet on Twitter. I'm always happy to hear it, and I'm just happy to be here for you guys, spreading memes and a little bit of knowledge as well.
I mean, that's what we do, and that's what you do best as well. Glad to have you on board, Wingblade. Out of 2021, I think the best part was really graduating from university after 5 long years. I can say studies and esports are sometimes really hard to mix together, so I understand where you're coming from. Because now that I'm done with school and I can just focus on esports and casting and just watching games and learning more, I feel so relieved. I feel really happy right now. I just want to, openly state that out to you, that I'm really enjoying this stuff right now. I'm having a lot of fun. And I'm hoping the next half of this DPC tour is going to be the same too, because we still have 3 more weeks of action starting in January after the first week, or during the first week even, or was it the 5th or the 6th day? And most importantly, which we discussed yesterday with the SA Division 1 panel, China's going to be in as well. So we have every region in. So that's hype. We're all in it.
Yeah, for sure. curious to see how different the Chinese meta is gonna be, because we're seeing some subtle differences, but for the most part, it's quite similar. With China, it's always a completely different ecosystem, so that should be exciting as well.
But let's not drag this evening for too long. Thank you, everybody, for tuning today. This was T-Panda and Wingblade on the cast. You can also see our Twitter handles right there below those nicknames. So if you enjoyed today, do feel free to drop a follow, or like I said, feedback or messages for DMs. You can slide into my DMs as well if you feel like you want to say something about today. And we will see you guys next year. Hope you guys have had a great 2021 and have a better 2022. It's going to be weird for the first few days to say that, or first few weeks, but 2022 is right behind the corner. Before that, we still have Christmas holidays, and some people just have holidays, so I hope you guys have some great holidays. Get some rest, enjoy your time, stay safe, and most importantly, take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time with SA next year. So bye-bye.